those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to Trento Vision, where bad ideas get pulverized and the truth will set you free. Trento Vision is hosted by Tom Trento. Tom can be reached at 561-319-5533 or Tom at trentovision.tv. Listen and watch every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN and trentovision.tv. Now, let's get a peek at Tom's view of the world. Here's Tom Trento.
Oh, here we go. Another day, another dollar, another day of the office here. And I've been giving this a lot of thought. I have, in light of the defeat that was experienced by the conservative movement on November 6th, 2012, in light of all the background noise that's in the studio, in light of all that's going on, the message that you can take to your heart and to the bank is sesquicentennial. Sesquicentennial.
No.
I've been practicing. Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Anybody know what that is? If anybody knows what sesquicentennial is, we'll give you one of these little pills here. You can clean your dirty dishes. We got the samples.
Yes.
We got the samples from one of our potential future actual sponsors. Dirty Dishes got you down. Dirty Dishes got you down. If you know the answer to what sesquicentennial is, let us know. 888-565-1470. But if you call, you have to be able to say sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Because yesterday that was the key word that we were throwing around here on Trento Vision with Tom Trento, CJ, Mike, and... Let me try that again. Tom Trento, CJ, Mike, and...
Somebody is missing.
Is anybody stumbling around, or do you hear any noise?
We both checked the floor.
We are a three-legged table today.
That is so funny.
An unbalanced three-legged table.
Yeah.
We're missing what is his name? We got Invisible Mike. We have the disembodied voice. We have J. Mark Campbell, the disembodied voice.
Who truly is disembodied.
He's disembodied today. He is not with us to partake in the festivities and the jocularity. And in all seriousness, and we're very serious, though we make jihad fun, we got some serious stuff.
The new-fashioned way.
Yeah, the new-fashioned way. You can laugh all the way to the eve of destruction, okay? But you know what? You got to, particularly the kind of work we do, where every day you get 200 very negative, very depressing, very end-of-the-world messages.
Yep.
And you get one little, maybe shiny little, kind of two-sentence message of potential hope. So you got to be able to kind of like laugh at this stuff to some extent if you want to maintain the stability that normal people have outside of this studio. But in any event, who are we? Tom Trento here, your host for Trento Vision, and my two co-hosts. We only have 50% of the two. CJ, say hello to everybody. Are you ready?
Almost.
Oh, you're almost ready.
Yes, but I can say hello.
You can do two things at one time. That's good.
Yes.
And Mark, our disembodied spirit, is running errands right now. And
He's probably listening on the radio.
He
and
probably is.
And furiously trying to email and text you
and
on
do
his,
all of that. Yeah, let me see if
this
this thing. While he's running
telling
errands.
us what we did wrong.
Yes. The camera has to go to the left. Tell Mike to do this. And we have Mike over here. Say hello, Mike.
Hey.
Yo.
Hey, okay.
All right, we're all alive and well on planet Earth. And planet Earth at this moment for us is longitude 42, 4 degrees south by northwest 62.1.
Okay, you're just making stuff up.
Yes, I know. But they didn't know it until you revealed it.
Listening.
They didn't know it until you revealed it. It sounded pretty good. Yeah, well, sort of. I know Latitude 25 is down in Miami because there was like a club down there called Latitude 25. So in any event, we're in Boca Raton, mouth of the rat, Florida. And if you have any wish of coming here, just be well prepared. There's rats all over the street and the cities and the trees, and that's why they named it the Mountain of the Rat.
And that's why they call us the Rat Patrol.
Yes, the Rat Patrol.
Yeah, it's the Rat Patrol.
And we've said it many times on our show. There's a beautiful inlet waterway from the Atlantic Ocean, which is a fabulous body of clean, beautiful, white sandy beaches, blue water, azure water. And there's an inlet that goes into the intracoastal, where each of us have one of our intracoastal mansions. We go there after the show. If you go north, you'll find Rush Limbaugh in one of his mansions up in Palm Beach, about 20, 30 miles north of where we are. But this is our headquarters at the Beasley Broadcasting Company, BBC, not to be confused with the leftist BBC. Whenever I travel to Europe, the only English station usually on is the BBC. And, you turn it on and you go, today America ruined the world by, that's how they start every sentence.
No. They start with Israel.
That's true. They do. Israel ruined the world by calling
those
America.
pesky Jews in Israel did this today.
Yes, the BBC. But we're the different BBC. We bring you the truth about America, about Israel, about everything else. And we do that. Our work is in the sector called national security. We think there are a lot of bad people out there that want to hurt Americans, both outside the geography of this country and, sadly, within the geography of this country. And over the past many, many, many years, but more in a more focused manner since September 11th, 2001. We have been running around identifying the bad guys who are Muslim jihadis. 99.99% of the terrorists are Muslim individuals, people that believe in Islam. And we identify these men and women. We expose them through our various modalities. We hope they get arrested or thrown in jail or thrown out of the country or whatever. And but we do all this with no weapons other than a camera and our brains, and maybe a little bit of writing and speaking, and a microphone, and all the high-tech tools. That's the kind of stuff we do in the United West, which is our sister organization. And in that organization, as we're doing a little lead-in right now, this coming week, 4 of our people will be at a summit, CJ. I don't know if you know too much about this, but there's a summit in Orlando.
Mm-hmm. ICNA.
No. This is a Good Guys Summit.
Oh, a Good Guys Summit.
Yeah, this is a summit on Islam by a Christian organization in Orlando, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next week. Public event. Anybody can go. A couple hundred people going there. And experts on Islam from a Christian perspective are coming in from all around the world. And they're going to do an analysis of the threat doctrine of Islam. But then from a Christian perspective, the focus will be, look, obviously Christians disagree with the religion of Islam. Otherwise, everybody would be one big happy religious family. And if you believe that someone is believing something wrong, it leads them to the kind of lifestyle we see in 56 countries now. Oh, if you don't believe us, what country would you like to go to that is run by Sharia law? Name one of the countries you'd like to go to. Well, this Christian summit believes that many of the women in particular and even many of the men and children simply don't want to be in that lifestyle, but they're so locked into it that they can't get out. So this summit's designed to figure out ways to provide an alternative to people in a faith-based context, and to come to the United States, or if you're here, to reconsider Islam and consider Christianity as a religious system that makes more sense. So that's an interesting summit that's taking place next week.
Yeah, I think they should have a summit for Christians to reconsider Christianity as a way of life.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. I will do that. I will. I've always remained open to that. If somebody can show me something better, I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer for that. And then that same weekend, one of our group, me, will be in Turtle Beach, in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, Myrtle Beach, that's the name of it. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
You're going to a party.
Going to a party, going to the South Carolina Tea Party State Convention. That's what it is, South Carolina Tea Party State Convention. And I'll be on a panel with Frank Gaffney, former Undersecretary of Defense for Ronald Reagan, Hank Cooper, former ambassador, United States to the Soviet Union, who negotiated the SALT Treaty and all of that with the Soviet Union and the nuclear arms arrangements and agreements. Myself and Alan West, we invited Alan, but he couldn't make it because he's yesterday was his last day at work.
I was going to say, is he done now?
He's done, yeah. The new Congress was sworn in today, the Senate and the House side. But guess who I recommended someone, and the people up in South Carolina said, yeah, we'd love to have him. It's a 4-person panel that we're going to be on next Saturday, not this Saturday, the following. Our own Navy SEAL Ben Smith.
Really?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, Ben is trying to do some speaking now and get out. He did his 8 years in as a Navy SEAL, special operator around the world, and has put his here we go, the disembodied voice. Oh.
Oh,
Here we go.
and here we go. We need to play the Snoopy's theme.
Hi, world. Hi, Beverly. Hi, everybody.
Where's Beverly?
Where is she?
She's
outside?
listening to us.
Okay, she is.
Hi,
Hi, Beverly. How you
Beverly.
doing? It took Mark a 0.2 seconds to knock something over in here, but Mike caught it at the last minute there. So our own Ben Smith will be on the panel with Ambassador Hank Cooper, former Undersecretary Frank Gaffney. It was so nice and quiet.
It was so tiny.
Undersecretary
It was so quiet.
Frank Gaffney, who runs Center for Security Policy now, a counterterrorism and national defense think tank, and yours truly. And we will be speaking on a whole bunch of different things, including not just the threat of Islamic Jihad, but we're rolling in the EMP, electromagnetic magnetic pulse bomb, which actually the Israelis are doing some testing with. And one theory is they're going to let one of these suckers loose over Tehran, put the lights out in Tehran, and quiet those guys down for about a century. That's possible. And then Ben Smith will give us a view of a SEAL, an operator, a Special Forces operator fighting nose to nose the people we fight ideologically that he fought physically with guns and knives and everything else.
I'd like to hear him speak about what's happening in the military, with morale in the military, as the Obama administration basically tries to decimate our military. I'd like to hear what he has to say about that, to speak for the members of our military who are not allowed to. Mm-hmm. They're not allowed to speak.
Yep.
They're not allowed to say Islam. They're not. I mean, they're not allowed
jihad
to.
Or
they're not
any
allowed
of those
to fight.
words.
They're not allowed to do anything. So.
I can't believe this is the state of affairs, but it is. So that's a little bit of what we do when we're not in a radio studio. But right now, the radio side of the United West, Trento Vision, we're developing as the command and control communication center for the counter-jihad movement in the United States. The civilian effort to stop Islamic terrorism, and the coordination of many of the Tea Party groups out there. Tea Party, typically TEA, where they got their name. TEA, taxed. It's an acronym. Taxed enough already. Taxed enough already. They have dealt primarily with fiscal issues, big government, all of that. They historically have not been on the forefront of national security. They realize that this world is getting crazy out there. Mm-hmm. So we are working with Tea Party groups around the United States to bring them into a national security deal close to CJ, too close to Mike. He was sending you texts.
I was sending you texts earlier.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Oh, wow. I did see that.
Why don't you just sit here and I'll go home?
Yeah.
Or you go look for an apartment. We're getting hugs and kisses from
Boca.
From Boca, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if anybody saw this. A friend of mine just sent me a text. Said, Happy New Year. You've seen the news clip today on TV about a man proposing to his girlfriend while scuba diving. Anybody see that?
No.
I saw that. That was on either Fox or ABC. And that's my friend's wife's daughter. Oh, pretty cool.
I saw President Nero jump back on his private
Oh, God.
jet, heading back to
These people,
body surfing off the coast.
These people are royalty. I mean, they are functioning as royalty. Comes back and did nothing here to negotiate anything. And then after the decision...
Auto signed.
Yeah.
Auto
Did you hear that? Obama flew back.
Mm-hmm.
Each trip is $1.6 million.
Right.
Flew back, sat in his Oval Office while the Congress, fought over a compromised bill. And as soon as it was done, he jumped back on Air Force One, flew back to Hawaii, and is going to sign the bill with an auto pen.
Oh, you already signed it with an auto pen.
Yeah,
right.
And got a kind of a special dispensation to do that. Couldn't stay long enough to actually sign it. Had to get back to the sun, sand,
Well, yeah,
and surf.
he's doing body surfing.
This
body
guy-
surfing. He's a pretty good body surfer.
He is. No, I maybe that's
Maybe,
worth all the money.
Maybe he can surf out to sea and
And
and give us a break.
or go to a foreign country and help destroy their economy too. So, but no, the fact of the matter is, much of our work, not only on that, well, in obviously from a national perspective, national security perspective, much of our work deals with the Commander-in-Chief, CIC, Commander-in-Chief, Barack Hussein Obama. We believe he's the worst president ever for the United States of America. He surpassed Jimmy Carter on January 21st, 2009, after he was in office for 24 hours. And certainly the absolute, anybody that can look at the world as it is right now and see how he has assisted the Muslim Brotherhood in becoming the strongest entity on the face of the earth right now. Oh, wait, America is such a powerful country. We have all these weapons. Problem is, folks, you're viewing the American military from a symmetric context, a symmetric modality. The war today is asymmetrical. It is not uniformed men on a battlefield fighting one another. It's subversive, ideological individuals with unique, asymmetric, unnormal, abnormal, creative methodologies to fight war. And the proof of the pudding is we put the best military on the face of the earth ever in Iraq, and we lost Iraq. We put the best military ever on the face of the earth in Afghanistan. We've lost Afghanistan. Both of those countries have constitutions that require they run by Sharia law. Both of those countries don't want Americans anywhere near them. We have $1 billion base in Iraq that we were supposed to occupy and be as General Valley talks about, a lily pad of operations, whether going into Iran or wherever we were going, ain't there anymore. We got a skeleton crew there. It was supposed to be a substantial deal. Obama walked away from it because he wanted to fulfill a promise in a political year in January of last year and leave Iraq. That's why we did our military campaign in Tallahassee last January. Afghanistan is an absolute disaster. Karzai hates Americans. Yes, kitties, what are you doing? They're looking at little jokes. So much of our work, besides me keeping the two kitties on track here, much of our work deals with critiquing. You got to close the door. Number three kitty. Much of our work deals with critiquing, analyzing, and undermining the Obama administration when the Obama administration tries to destroy either financially or with bad decisions or with unique policies or aiding and abetting the enemy, tries to hurt the U.S. military or the U.S. economy. And that keeps everybody busy for quite a while because he's been very good at that. In the last 4 years, our economy has taken a nosedive. Stop blaming George Bush. He's not in charge anymore. And the military has taken a nosedive. People are so demoralized. You were talking about that earlier. Unbelievable. But that's what we're all about.
And what gets me about this whole economy thing, it's truly amazing, is all this, showboating and all this fanfare about, taxing the rich and all this other stuff, of the whole back and forth, the fiscal cliff, the everything, At the end, the net result was, what was it, $80 billion, a drop in the bucket, what they accomplished on this whole fiscal cliff idea. I mean, this is nothing has been solved. Nothing's been taken care of. We're still going to pay $4 trillion in debt. I mean, and it's all show. Everything's for show with this administration, and with this, it's like all feel-good stuff, and it's nothing of substance or reality. And that's what just drives us crazy. It's just like everything, including his talk on Islam, is all fluff. There's no substance, no reality of what the situation is on the ground. Everything about this administration is the same thing.
And it's
It really
unfortunately not just the administration, because it's the Republicans in Congress are complicit. They are part of the problem.
Yeah, but we have to keep it in perspective. They certainly are part of the problem. And Boehner survived a popularity vote today.
Well, let's talk about.
Louis Gohmert voted for?
Who did he vote for?
For Speaker of the House?
Who?
Take a wild guess. Louis Gohmert is...
I tell you what, I want to see Louis Gohmert run for president.
He's the congressman from Texas. He's a former judge. He understands Islamic Jihad. He's been briefed by the Team B folks. And he speaks out on it, and he's brilliant. He appears at first like kind of a country bumpkin, a southern guy, and then all of a sudden he's in your head, pulling your brains apart, and you're going da 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 da. He voted today for Speaker of the House. He voted for Alan West.
Did he really?
That's cute.
That is wonderful.
No,
that was his vote.
I love him on everything. I mean, the more and more I look at him, first of all, he came to my attention when he co-signed that one bill, with the Michelle Bachmann bill.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I really started paying attention to him.
June of 2012.
And then we ran into him at the RNC, and then we started talking with him. And
Great guy. He's good friends with the Vaughns. He's become very close to them.
He's just down-to-earth guy who's principled, who stands by his principles, is not afraid to say it.
Not afraid, man. Not afraid to speak out.
But you look at the Democrats up there in Washington today, the Republicans in Washington today, they're like, oh, well, we need to change. We don't need to stand by that principle anymore.
That's not what happened. What happened was the majority of Republicans were not for this bill. They weren't going for it. Boehner had to do an end around. He had to take it to the floor without a majority vote, and he was able to. It was a procedure he used without allowing all the people against it to vote properly, and he got the thing. It's a 2-month stall. But right now, what scared everybody is Obama has put the gun control issue and immigration, both of those, he's linking those together, as two primary political objectives in January this month. So all the conservatives are worrying if Boehner, who just got reelected Speaker, if he just did this maneuver to keep the Tea Party conservatives quiet, will he do that on immigration and gun control to get some sort of compromise? So this is going to be we got our hands full.
Now they're saying Boehner, he's the Speaker of all the Republicans, of Democrats, of the House of the Democrats and the where is this idiocy coming from? This is this classic Washington think attitude where we don't have to stand on principle anymore. We just have to make compromises and deals. And it's always you're making compromises and deals with Democrats.
With the other side, yeah.
But they're never making compromises and deals on this side.
This is tough stuff because it looks like there's more of them than of us, and Oh, you know what the other thing
Actually,
is?
there's more of us than of them in the House. That's the frustrating thing.
Yeah. You know what the other crazy thing is? And I couldn't believe this. I could not believe this. I'm sitting there and I hear a news report early this morning. Guess who was released last night from the hospital?
Hillary.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
Wait a minute. A day ago,
Yeah.
the neurosurgeons are saying, oh, months of rehabilitation
Death
and
story.
rest, and this is amazing, and, we hope it's not too dangerous, and she has this and that, and she's out and talking about going back to work this week, and everything's kind of fine. This is bizarre. This is very bizarre.
Yeah, we need Hillary watch.
Yeah.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, where's Hillary?
No, this is bizarre. So we got to keep our eye on that. If you are just tuning in at 28 minutes past 3 o'clock to Trento Vision and wondering what the heck is going on, you're probably getting sort of a hint that we're not big fans of this Obama administration. In fact, we are the protagonist to their antagonism. So our job is to analyze what they're doing and then make you aware of it, but not on every little move they make. Primarily in the area of national security. That's our concern, because right now, believe it or not, there's a lot of bad people out there that want to kill us.
So what we have really is a state of national insecurity.
Oh, that's good. National insecurity.
National insecurity.
That same insecurity existed in 1863. Did you know that?
1863?
Yes.
Correct.
it did.
Copperheads.
Was that
those nasty? That's what we should start calling them.
Copperheads.
The modern day Copperheads.
The Copperheads popped up in 1863.
Was that about a sesquicentennial ago?
That was the sesquicentennial. I've been practicing sesquicentennial. Sesquicentennial. Go ahead. Oh, not bad.
Sesquicentennial.
Well, if you're...
Yeah, we can all say it today.
If you can say that, you can probably give us a traffic report, and you can get ready with the weather report, and I'll do the inside weather, because everyone out there, we know you're very concerned about our temperate comfort here at Trento Vision in our expansive studio. So we want you to know it's 75 degrees, and we are comfortable. Are you comfortable today?
I could be more comfortable if somebody would get me a cup of coffee.
Oh.
I nominate you.
I second it. All in favor? Aye. Okay, Robert's rules of, works. What's the outside deal?
The outside is 79 degrees and sunny and beautiful and perfect in Boca Raton.
Traffic, I'm assuming
it's pretty bad out there.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, man. You're consulting with a traffic person.
No,
He's on the ground consultant.
Oh, God, this is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, they're really slow and kind of dopey out there today. Yeah.
You know what?
Particularly dopey.
They have been like that today.
Well, I think they're still hungover from New Year's.
A little bit hungover.
Yeah.
A little bit snowbirdy.
I know what it is. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with a devastating loss. Louisville kicks the Gators' butts, man. Did you see that? We got a Gator here in
no, I'm not a
the
Gator
disembodied
today.
voice.
I
I'm
thought
not
you
a
said
Gator today.
tonight was the football game you wanted to see.
It should be tonight. That's what
Yeah.
the Gators thought too.
That's right. They got wrecked, man. That was sad.
They didn't.
I went
They
to
blew
bed.
the whistle and they.
Yeah,
Oh man,
bad.
it was
bad. But,
first play. It was over. It's like boom.
But Notre Dame may be feeling a little good now. The SEC's not invincible. Maybe.
Well, Florida's
We'll
never
see.
been that good of a team all year. They
They should have done better.
You guys should hold your sports talk for the 4 o'clock hour when Kenny.
Hey,
is
what do you
here
think
and he
about,
can participate.
Really.
Yeah, what do you think about? Oh, they're going to speak. All right. In any event, we're getting rolling here, and what we're doing the first hour, besides just getting to know you, some of our new listeners and viewers out there, we
Yes.
know you're tuning in, giving you a little feel for who we are, what we do here. How do we do this stuff? Well, we do it by the good graces of those of you who write checks. You can go to TrentoVision.tv. We're looking for a team of folks to sign up at $18 per month for the calendar year 2013. Tax deductible, because we educate you, and you can keep the circus wheels rolling on this parade of information that will just overflow on a regular basis. We have so much stuff.
Yes.
And
we
so that's how you can
overflow
help.
with stuff.
We got a few folks helping us out. Peter Feynman, FeynmanLaw.com, great attorney, great friend. He'll be next week to kind of be a guest and do a little guest hosting.
Yes.
A little trial, and then a day or two later he'll be flying with you. You're his co-pilot. So that's next week, Peter Feynman.
Yeah, remind me to find out how he likes his coffee.
We're going to tell you also in our 3 hours here. In the second hour today, we have Robert Muise, M-U-I-S-C, who's one of the country's top First Amendment attorneys. A phenomenal case on homosexuality versus articulated by a homosexual who wrote about the process of slavery being equated with the process of homosexual movement in America. Really interesting case that took place at the University of Toledo in Ohio. The woman was fired by the school. She hired top First Amendment guys. One of those lawyers will be here calling in our second hour, so we'll get through that. Plus, they have a big CARE case that's going on. We'll hear about CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations. We'll hear about that second hour. Third hour, we're going to tell you about interesting development with Al Gore. You hear about that?
No, what happened?
Al Gore started a television network 7 years ago called Current TV.
Right.
Current TV.
And he jokes about how nobody watches
Nobody watches it.
Yeah.
And Keith Olbermann, remember him?
Yeah.
He was one of the hosts.
The guy, he loves you, Tom.
Keith Olbermann loves me.
Yeah, he actually sent you out that love message one time. He says, Tom Trento is the best, most smartest guy in the entire... Or, no, he said
Not
word.
quite. We should play it. We'll find that for the third hour. Tom Trento is a jackass. And he did this little 2 or 3 minute thing on me being a jackass. Keith Olbermann. It was great. I mean, we made all kinds of
publicity for
great publicity. Yeah. But Al Gore sold Current for $500 million. $500 million.
Guess who?
He is walking away, Al Gore, with $100 million. He sold Current TV.
Yeah.
I know. He sold Current TV to a group that said, "Oh my God, we can write a check. That's pocket change for us.
Yeah.
We can write a check and be in 41 million homes in the United States of America overnight, and then build our base."
Yeah.
So Al Gore sold to that wonderful news agency called Al Jazeera.
Oh, no way.
Way. It's on the front page
out
of
of
Al
Dohar.
Jazeera.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. Al Gore sold Al Jazeera. He sold to a terrorist network, basically, that's owned by the sheikhs in Dohar. And we'll get into that in the third hour. I renamed, and you know what their name for their network now is? It was going to be Al Jazeera America, but it's now, you ready for this?
Al Jihad America.
Nope. Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera.
You made that up.
It's Al Jazeera is the new name of the network. Al Jazeera. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Al
not
Jazeera.
bad.
So that's the new network. We will talk about that and the implications of that. And we're going to show you Robert Morsi, President Robert Morsi, President of Egypt in 2010, sitting in his little dumpy office. Robert Mohammed Morsi.
Mohammed Morsi. Where are you going with Robert?
Morsi. I know somebody by Robert Morsi.
I go, what the hell are you
Mixing
talking
it up.
about?
I always do that.
Okay. No, I thought he was
Mohammed Morsi.
Okay, all right.
Try again.
If anybody could have corrected me, because if his name isn't Robert, it's got to be Mohammed, okay? Mohammed Morsi, 2010, sitting in his little dumpy office. You will not believe, third hour, you will not believe what this guy says about Israel, about America. This is before there was any possibility of him becoming the president of Egypt.
Kidding me?
Unbelievable.
I've not heard this clip because I've been out running around. So.
New footage just found, and it is going to shock you, to say the least. But Somebody that's always shocking, I think, is on the line. Can you bring him on, CJ?
Yes, I can bring Mort on.
Morton.
Morton.
Good afternoon, lady and gentlemen.
Hello, Mozart.
Yeah, it's me. Earlier you were talking about sesquicentennial. And,
show off.
Niagara Falls, and slowly I stepped, step by step. Remember that? Remember that bit from Abbott and Costello?
No.
Right.
You remember it, Mort, don't you?
I think he wrote it for them.
Niagara Falls. Abbott and Costello were in prison,
Well, yeah.
in a jail cell, and whenever there was this big, nasty crook, whenever he heard the word Niagara Falls, it was like a trigger. Nobody's seen this? And Abbott and Costello kept talking about Niagara Falls, and the guy would go, Niagara Falls! He'd go into this crazy mode and go after them, and they quiet him down. That's what that sesquicentennial word reminds me of, a trigger word for like the Manchurian Candidate. But what's up, Mort?
Well, since I could say that, and since I pretty much thought I knew what it meant, a period of 150 years, and since I have so much self-doubt, I went to an old friend called the American Heritage Dictionary, and I looked it up. And if my judgment weren't validated, I wouldn't even be calling. But I was curious because the very next word in the dictionary after sesquicentennial,
Yes,
is a word called sesquipedalian, which means given to using long words. I thought that was...
That's pretty good. Say that one again, the second word.
I'll have to charge you for this.
Okay.
It's sesquipedalian.
Sesquipedalian.
Yes, P-E-D-A-L-I-A-N.
One in one cup, one in the other cup.
Okay, that's the word of the day, sesquipedalian.
Good. Is this something I can build directly to Trento?
Yes, you can. It's 4242 South 42 Street in in the Rock of Gibraltar. So, but anyway,
Say hello to your accounts payable person.
yes, we're launching the Mozart contest next week. So get your little fingers exercised, and or maybe not exercised, as the case may be, and get ready to start writing.
Good. All right, check you later.
All right, we got a lot in store. Let's take one more call, then we'll get into some of our stuff.
Okay, let's say hi to Volanda real quick.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Hello,
Yeah, we can hear
Volanda.
you. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you guys. Listen, Tom, who's in contention for the speakership other than John Boehner?
The name I heard was Eric Cantor, but I didn't check that out. That was the only name I heard that was floating around.
That's what I had heard too. I was wondering because I didn't hear it reported on the news or anything else as to anyone other than John Boehner, Eric Cantor. I don't remember anyone else.
Yeah, it was more a vote of confidence, and those votes are really not taken unless they know what the outcome is, and there was no real campaigning by anybody. But there's a lot of conservatives very upset with Mr. Boehner right now. That's for sure.
I know they are.
So
that's what I've heard.
And this is just a temporary pause where serious stuff has to happen, and the Democrats do not want to cut spending. And Obama's got the strength right now, so we're in a mess. And for little organizations like ours that rely on donations, we feel the impact. We talk to donors, and they go, "I don't know what the heck's going to happen." We're being real careful with our money. I could just imagine on the entrepreneurial business end where you got a few guys that are starting up something. They need $80,000, usually pretty easy to raise.
Right.
Now everybody's going, let's just see what happens here. It's going to be another 2 months.
Yeah.
So
that's for our Secretary of State. I've heard some rumblings about a few doctors who said that the medication that was being used on her for that blood clot is not something you would use it for. Is that true too? Because I was just hearing some things, and I was just wondering, what you had heard.
No, I don't know. I didn't hear that, but
it's really weird
It's
because
very
everything
weird.
related to any news about Hillary Clinton is
Yes.
it just sounds like the news is coming from Mars. Everything sounds like a conspiracy theory.
it sounds like the Politburo is
It's-
managing the news. You know.
Yes, it's strange. It's out there.
It's strange.
It's very strange. And so we're going to stand by and watch what happens.
Yeah.
But I do know this. I do know that there are enough very serious people, Lindsey Graham being one of them, who says
Lindsey Graham is a serious person.
well on this issue.
I agree with you, CJ. I don't trust that man. He's scary to me.
well,
Frankly,
on this issue, the issue I'm going to reference, he said we are not even considering John Kerry's nomination in the Senate till Hillary
Right.
testifies on Benghazi.
Okay.
So he wants her testifying on
Okay.
Benghazi. So,
All right. Well, good for that at least.
yeah, so we're going to
Yeah.
see if she can slide by with the Benghazi flu and avoid that one more time.
Good grief.
yeah, because I never saw a press conference like the one that I'd heard, and basically in which the president said, "This is going to be my new Secretary of State," and then he walks away tersely and nobody asked questions.
Amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
It's eerie and it's scary. It's like everything's in a different time zone.
Well, this president...
I never thought we'd see anything like this before in my life. But then again, if he's brought up the media like most everybody agree he has, I guess that's what we're going to be seeing from now on.
Valanda, I do in my role as the director of the United West, I do a 3-hour, very intense briefing on President Obama from the day he was born, wherever he was born, wherever he was, from the day he was born, and I lay out two theories. One theory is three theories. One is he was born in Hawaii. Actually, two theories. Born in Hawaii, but his father was not Barack Obama. His father was Frank Marshall Davis. So that's one theory that has some very interesting evidence to it. And second theory is the whole Kenyan thing and all of that. But notwithstanding where he was born, which is still an unresolved issue, because we all know the birth certificate that the White House put forth is a complete fraud. I mean, anybody that knows Photoshop knows that thing was faked. But even
I'm
not
glad you confirmed that, Tom, because I didn't know that. Someone told me that, but I did not know it.
Not only did we confirm it independently, but Sheriff Joe Opaio, who many people don't like,
I remember that.
He put a cold case posse on it and brought in forensic investigators. They spent about 3 months, and then they had a very detailed presentation on it. But forget about all that. Let's just take President Obama from the days of being mentored by Frank Marshall Davis, who was a card-carrying Communist Party out of Chicago, in Hawaii to recruit, being watched by the FBI. All this like Al Rosoli says, I'll bet somebody $100,000 if they can prove me wrong.
Right.
You know? This is all public record. So go through the training of the mentoring of Frank Marshall Davis to President Obama, taking him up to 18 years old. He goes to Occidental College in Los Angeles, 18 to 20 years old, studies revolutionary politics, studies communism, studies Marxism.
Edward Said.
Then, well, not yet. Then he goes to Columbia in New York, and that's where Edward Said, who was the PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization's representative in the United States, who taught PLO politics and Mideast studies, a brilliant guy, wrote The Orientalist, a massive book on the Middle East.
Orientalism.
Orientalism.
Here's the thing I wanted to ask you, Tom.
I had to read that.
And I'm going to try to hurry it up here. But here's the thing. Do you remember Percy Sutton?
Sure, of course.
The medium. Okay. My
we have that
is,
video. I have that little video clip in the presentation of him talking about the Saudis taking over.
Here's the kicker. That man was made to look like a fool. He said that he was approached by a friend of his in the House of Saud.
Yep.
And he was asked to write recommendation
Yep.
for him, I guess, to go to either the Harvard or Columbia. One of the
Harvard. This one was Harvard. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, why was it that Barack Obama, at that particular period, just totally either dismissed him or made him to look like somebody who was senile? He pretended like he almost didn't know him. And I'm thinking to myself, something's wrong here. Number one, I don't know too many recommendations that I've asked anybody to write for me, and I didn't know them, or they didn't know me. I don't know too many people that will do that for you. Maybe they do in certain parts. Maybe they do, and I don't know. But most people that I know of who've gotten letters of recommendation or they asked about, they don't just have an interview. That person has to really know you. That's like asking an employer to do a letter of recommendation. I was wondering, how was it that he was, I know, Percy was a friend of, they had a mutual acquaintance, but I'm thinking to myself, why would Obama evade that whole situation?
Well, yeah, of course. And what Volanda is talking about at 48 minutes past 3 o'clock for our listening audience is back in, let's see, he was 20, 61, 81, 82, about 83, Percy Sutton, who was a very significant New York politician, assemblyman with a tremendous amount of power and prestige. He was approached, just as you said, by the Saudis through Al Mansour. Don Warden was the guy's name. Don Warden helped start the Black Panther Party in the United States of America. Don Warden converts to the Nation of Islam, which has nothing to do with Sunni Islam. It didn't. It does now. And Don Warden becomes the attorney. Al Mansour is his new Islamic name. The attorney for the Alawid Ben Talal, for the king, for the Saud family, and in that capacity, he approaches Al Mansour, formerly Don Warden, approaches Percy Sutton and says, "We got a guy that we think can go to high places. We want to get him through Harvard." So Percy Sutton writes a letter of recommendation, all public record, for Barack Obama. When Obama gets challenged about Percy Sutton writing him a letter on behalf of a black Muslim who's connected with the Saudis, as he was running in 2008, Obama does his Jeremiah Wright. I don't even know the guy. I was never there. And he disassociated himself with Jeremiah Wright for political purposes. He did the same thing and totally dissed Percy Sutton, who put himself out to get him in Harvard. That's your president, America.
Bus tracks. Under the bus.
Under the bus. For political purposes. When you know the psychology of President Obama, like we have done, the tremendous amount of work, he's a very insecure, narcissistic individual who doesn't know who he is. He wrote a book called Dreams from, not of, different preposition, Dreams from My Father. He's experiencing these dreams and wants to channel his father. America, you're being run by a ghost.
A very disassociative.
He is.
It's all about appearance and what. It's not about anything inner core or inner self. It's all about the appearance of what you think about him. And it's very. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, and you see now people coming out of the White House when it's starting to leak that he hates the process of government. The work. He likes the position and acknowledgement.
He likes to be
of
an
it.
emperor is what he
got
likes.
it.
He doesn't actually want to work.
You got it. Yep, you got it.
He's all show and no substance in it, and it goes right, and it comes back out and passes out into his legislative bills. For example, this glass bill, this fiscal cliff thing, is a classic example of his mindset, his attitude transferring into his politics. This whole thing about raising taxes on the rich to solve the problem. Oh, wait, it's all appearance, it's all fluff, has no substance whatsoever, because when you look past it, it raises $80 billion and nothing, a rounding error. It's a rounding error.
I could not, in good conscience, if I were the President of the United States, and if elected, I will not serve, if I were the President of the United States, I could not jump on an airplane and go on a vacation to Hawaii.
I know, Tom,
in the midst of all of this. I couldn't even, I would say, hey, family, we're gonna go to Disney World, okay? Or we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go, take care of your family. We'll do something in Washington. Let's go look at the Washington Monument or whatever. I couldn't say let's spend zillions of the appearance, but you know what? The more I'm talking about this, that this is the image he wants to project. The image of I'm above it all. I will go where I want to go, and the world will listen to me.
And I'm gonna, with all the pomp and circumstance I can bring along with it.
Yep. So, Valanda, we tried, we lost, but we're here fighting every day for the true principles of the U.S. Constitution.
And I not only salute you, but I support you 100%.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good talking to you again.
Yeah.
So, President Obama, what would you tell him, CJ, if he walked in this door right now and said, Trent, don't get out of that seat? First of all, I said, yeah, that's a good chance of that.
Yeah, good
Sit
chance
over
of
there.
that happening.
No, I would say, okay, Mr.
Well,
President.
I don't think he would do that.
I would like for you to be.
He would be polite.
Okay, say again, Tom, could I sit there? Sure,
Do you
Mr.
mind if
President.
I sit there?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your question to him?
What is my question to him?
Yeah, what would you ask him?
Well, I would ask him why he's here, for one thing.
Or would you give him a religion of peace update?
Yeah, I would give him a religion.
If he said, CJ, hey, that's a nice blouse, by the way, CJ, nice piece of gold you got there.
I'm so susceptible to somebody being smooth with me.
CJ's such a nice name.
CJ,
Man.
you're looking fine today.
How's my smile today? How's my smile? Hey, see the Secret Service agents I got here? CJ, what, is there anything I could do better as President of the United States of America?
Oh, my gosh.
Is there anything I could do better, CJ,
I can't even look at
as the
you
President
right
of the
now.
United States of America?
No, this is terrible. You know what? The only thing worse would be if it were Bill Clinton sitting there.
Yeah, right. Oh, Bill Clinton would be, hey, CJ.
Yeah.
All right. What time you getting off today, CJ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
CJ, can you fit under this table here?
Okay, a little piece of history there,
Yeah.
folks. History. Okay. All right. I'm being lulled into a submissive stupor.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you the 2012 Religion of Peace update.
They got about right.
Everyone's surprised. The Religion of Peace.
People are shutting off their radios.
11,267. Seriously, 11,267 dead bodies in 2,459 barbaric terror attacks during 2012.
We'll pick that up on the other side of our
Religion
break.
of Peace.
And we're going to have Rob Muse here in the next hour discussing First Amendment versus homosexual whatevers. Stay tuned to this craziness.
Yes, it certainly is.